Hello and welcome to Body Bags. This is week 246 and I am James, your new Sunday night reviewer. I'm very happy to be taking over from Derek Bougier. D Bougier 86. I think it's a bit of a legend on the channel, been doing it for so long. And super stoked, super happy that he asked if I wanted to take over his spot. So I'm super happy to be doing that, and I just hope I can do the content half as good as he does, because the guy knows his shit. He's such a solid reviewer. He knows so much about so many films, and the depth that he goes into things. Yeah, he's a great reviewer, and like I said, if I'm half as good as him in however many months it takes to get to that level, I'll be super happy. But anyway, it's the review, and I've actually chosen to review a Netflix film, so not one that I have a physical release of. And the movie I've gone with is it says it's 2017, but I don't know if it was released like only just recently. But it's Cargo, which is a post-apocalyptic zombie movie. Now, I love zombie films. Horror zombie, like my second favourite subgenre of horror. So I saw this. I've only actually recently saw this, so I don't really know anything about it. Kind of gone into it blind. So what I've had to do is literally just make a few notes here. So I've just come to the car because I have relatives coming to visit, so I have a house full. So I thought this was a little bit more quiet. Anyway, this is a feature-length review from a short film that was done a couple of years ago, and it's actually the same directors that have done it. It's Ben Howling and Yolanda Ramp. To be honest, two people I've not heard of. I see that they've been working in film for a few years within different areas of like the production staff. But I think this is their first feature-length film. But like I said, it's a post-apocalyptic film. So there's been a zombie outbreak, and we're following a family that are in Australia. It's actually Martin Freeman. So people probably most know him from the UK. People are going to know him from The Office, and from elsewhere around the globe, most probably likely there's the Sherlock series, and he's Bilbo in The Hobbit. But yeah, so we're following him. It's him and his wife, and he has a baby girl, or a very, very, very young toddler, and it's just basically following their struggles on how to keep alive. There's some tragic events which happen, which force the family to make decisions where they need to go to different places. They want to go to a hospital, and generally they're just trying to get to a safe area. So that they, like I said, there's some tragic events. I don't really want to give anything away, but yeah, like the choice is made with having the child involved. It's quite a good dynamic. I know it's been done before. I mean, look at The Walking Dead. But it's interesting that you're watching the choices made as parents, rather than just people trying to survive. It's parents trying to survive with a young child that cannot look after itself. This strikes a chord with me because I'm a father of in a few months' time, a 3-year-old. So yeah, similar situation of someone that can't look after themselves. So it kind of did strike a chord, and some of the things that they were deciding to do. Other people might think it's quite strange, but I was kind of on board with the decisions that were being made. But anyway, it's we're going through the film. You kind of come across some different characters. Some good, some morally not so good, as normal, as you'd expect. There's actually one guy that's a fracking employee, and he's kind of continuing the role for when the world becomes okay again. Yeah, kind of one of these people, and I think there's a big political thing with fracking within Australia and the indigenous people, the Aborigine people, and this is played out within the film as well. And he is actually using some Aboriginal people as bait to lure in these zombies. So lovely guy. And yeah, I don't really want to go any more into that, because if I start digging in too deep, it's really going to give it away. I mean, everyone knows kind of how these post-apocalyptic zombie films go, and it's kind of run of the mill. Yeah, pretty much. A few things I'll point out. Obviously, being the outback, some of the scenery is fantastic. It's beautiful scenery, and it's nice having the Aboriginal people involved, and they're actually claiming back the land. They're cleansing the lands. They're basically going around in these parties, killing all these zombies, kind of sweeping them all up, and like as I said, claiming their land back and killing them. So you have all this going on in the background. The one thing that I really did notice, that I think people tend to call this lazy writing, and I think that's a fair way to put it, but there's a lot of things which come quite easy. I mean, to start with, they're on a boat, and when they come off the boat, they find the car almost immediately, and then they find the keys straight away, and it's like, okay. What else was there? Yeah, whenever there's situations where they need to escape, they always seem to do it pretty easy. There's meant to be lots of walking around, but everything seems like they don't have to walk particularly long to get to these different places, and everything seems quite close. I mean, this is the outback, and everything's very spread out, so that's what it seems a little bit too easy. Yeah, and for having a toddler, the toddler never cries. It's very, very seldom it makes any noise. Doesn't ever seem to eat or drink or need nappy changes or milk, and that was something that was like, well, knowing this side of things, the amount of time and attention and noise these little ones make, that just really was not very realistic part. And yeah, there's got a kind of that whole unrealistic kind of element to it. It's like, although there are a few scenes which I wouldn't go as far to say are a lot heartbreaking, but they kind of started to pull a little bit emotionally. Generally, the film falls a little bit flat, and although there's plenty going on, it seems quite, I don't know if it's slow paced, but I was a little bit bored. I think there's a problem with Martin Freeman being cast. I mean, he just doesn't fit the role. I think the mum fits the role great, a lot of the supporting cast, but the main person, Martin Freeman, he just doesn't really seem to fit in. I mean, I know everyone's Australian and he's English, but yeah, he just doesn't really. I just didn't believe it with him, and it kind of kept taking me out. And then some of the scripts were strong, and some of it was some weak. And like I said, it was just quite convenient, a lot of the scripts. And although there's twists and turns, it's all kind of fairly predictable. It's kind of, a lot of it's been done before. So, hey, well, I'd say it's worth a watch. I'm probably around 6.5. Yeah, I'm kind of quite tight with my rating, so I'll probably give it a 6. There's a lot of nice scenery. There's things going on. There's nice, like, the family kind of side of things, how you look at it. There's some great side characters and the interaction with these characters, but generally is yeah. I just wish it had been a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit. I can't say disappointing because I didn't really know about the film, but it could have been better. Yeah, but if you want to watch, if you like zombie films, definitely check it out. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, I'd probably maybe give it a miss. If you're really not into your zombie films, you're probably going to be, well, that's just a generic zombie film. But anyway, this is my review of Cargo. As I said, I'm very, very happy to be part of the gang, the Body Bags gang, and I was given a lot of G's up to Derek, but everyone, like every night, that they do fantastic work. It's a really great crew of team, a great team, the Body Bags, and as I said, I hope that I can keep up Sunday nights, keep it up to a decent level, and yeah, that's the end of the review. I'll see you next Sunday. Good night, everyone.